What's the best advice you would give to somebody who's doing this for the first time this year for Murph?
Take the first mile slow.
It's probably the best advice you can get. 100%.
Don't go out hot.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Full Send Podcast. You guys missed it. I did a whole intro and we weren't recording. I wish I had that for the outtakes. But welcome back, and we're super excited to talk about, we could talk about Murph in particular, and we get to talk about Hero WODs. If this is your first year of going through the Murph workouts with your affiliate or with Verity Speed and Strength, we're super excited about it. It's a great time to kind of come together, celebrate those who have given their service to the country, whether through the military, police, firefighters, first responders, everybody like that. And of course, I have my co-host, the owner of the gym, Monroe Miller. Dude, what's up, man?
How you doing today?
Better now with that intro. Now that it's over, man. That was a disaster.
Smoother start.
Holy smokes, man! All right, Monroe. So talk to me about what is Murph? For those who don't know, or maybe they've heard it in the group chat, or they bought the T-shirt. What is Murph? What are we doing this weekend at the gym?
So the workout is for time: 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then another mile run to finish. So we kind of talked in the last podcast, like the way to do it. There's the original way it was written, just basically says complete the above work for time. Partition is needed. If you have a 20-pound weight vest or body armor, wear it, right? And the workout was originally nicknamed body armor. So yeah, you can do 20 rounds of Sydney. You can break it up however you want. Or, some people do it unpartitioned, which is just chunking out the 100 pull-ups, the 200 push-ups, and the 300 air squats.
Yeah. If you're a first-timer here and you look at that workout and you're like, holy shit, man, I don't know if I can do all that. Can you do a half Murph? Can you do a quarter Murph?
Yeah, of course.
What can you do if you're a first-timer out here?
I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to scale it. And we were kind of talking about this. It's not so much about, whether you did it RX or what what reps you did or whatever. It's about the feeling of that workout where it's this long grind, So I think as long as you're getting some 30-minute-ish kind of sucky workout that has that bookend of a run on either end, I think you're doing all right, And then we want, ring rows. We can scale the squats. Maybe you're squatting to a box. And then push-ups can obviously be elevated as well on a box. So
yeah. Awesome. Talk to me about your first Murph experience. When was it? How'd it go? How'd you break it up?
I did 20 rounds of Cindy.
Yeah.
My first year was probably 2012.
Okay.
2011, 2012. I remember it being really hard. I mean, I've done it every year. It's definitely an experience, and it's definitely, it's one of those workouts where as soon as you get into it, you're like, oh yeah, this is what Murph feels like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's usually like 20 minutes into the workout, you're like, oh crap, I still got another amount of that same amount of work left. So yeah, my first experience wasn't super memorable for me. I've had other very memorable hero workouts, which I think we'll get into.
We will
later on, but Murph is just more like it's traditional, So it's like it's one of those things like the Open. It's just something we do every year, So it's cool.
My first time doing Murph was 2017, and the push-ups were the hardest part for me by far. And I think people will find that for the most part that's going to be the case, right? Pull-ups, you either can do them or you can't do them, right? There's not a lot of in between there. Obviously, if you want to do something, we can talk about that. But if you need to scale something to be, a jumping pull-up or a ring row or whatever you're going to be from there, but doing sets of 5 there is not overly difficult. Not to say it's not overly difficult, but it's not the hardest part for most people, right? And the push-up part, I think, for most people is definitely going to be where people slow down the most. So the way that I broke it up in year one is I also did 20 rounds of Cindy. And when we talk about Cindy, we're talking about 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and 15 air squats. Right. And I even broke it up a little bit further. So I would go 5 pull-ups, 5 push-ups, 15 air squats, 5 push-ups. So there was always a break kind of in between doing push-ups and everything. And if this is your first time going out there, I would strongly suggest probably something like that. when you're going into there. 10 push-ups, I think, even if you're going to scale it, incline it, whatever it's going to be, just giving that extra, if you're doing air squats, 30 seconds of rest or maybe 20 seconds on your pull-ups is going to save your arms and your chest just so much so much strength the further and further you get into the workout. How are you going to break up the workout this year?
So my plan, every year I've done it, which is one cool thing about doing something every year, is you can kind of, for the first few years, it's like I'm trying to beat my old time, and then it gets to a point where it's like, I don't know if I can get under 40 minutes again,
Yeah.
And so, this year I'm going to try and do it unpartitioned with a vest. And that'll be the first time that I've done it. So I've done it unpartitioned without a vest. I've done it partitioned a bunch of different ways with a vest. But yeah, so I'm going to try and do it unpartitioned with a vest just because I've been working on push-ups all month.
Oh, gosh. I was about to say, you've done all your Murph prep the whole month. You're going to be flying through the push-ups once you get into that. Damn it, man. I've been going back and forth the entire week, and I'm like, so I did it on partition last year, and that was actually a good experience. I actually really enjoyed it when I did it like that, and I've done 5 rounds before. And this year I was like, I keep going back and forth between 10 rounds or 5 rounds this year, and I'm like, 10 rounds would be so nice, could be so much easier. So like naturally, I feel like I have to do 5, just to make it a little bit more difficult and everything like that.
50 rounds of 2, 4, 6. Okay, so for those of you who are watching, if you are like really bad at push-ups like I am, 50 rounds of 2 pull-ups, 4 push-ups, 6 air squats is the most easiest way for you to break it up, in my opinion. But whenever you get more rounds in a workout, it starts to mess with your head more. So some people can't keep pushing through that, like the craziness of wiping 50 lines on a whiteboard.
It's a lot of lines to wipe off, man. But I do like that it just continues you're going to keep moving. You're not going to be sitting there shaking your arms out a ton or anything like that, or your legs out a ton as far as that goes. Do we know what any of the other coaches are going to be doing? Pat, Nick, what Jordo's going to be doing as far as breaking it up?
So I haven't talked to Nick or Jordan, but like there's a lot of people out this year. So like a bunch of people are on vacation.
Well, it's Memorial Weekend, man. It's a big travel weekend. Like I'm gonna be in West Virginia. I get to go to Death by CrossFit. We'll maybe tag you guys here in the we're gonna go there. So it's crazy because my mother-in-law, father-in-law, they have a cabin down there, super beautiful, and it's in this town called Lashmeet, West Virginia, which is a very appropriate name. But it's in the middle of nowhere, right? But if you go down the road towards Princeton a little bit, which is actually like a pretty big town down there, like 5 minutes from the cabin is this Death by CrossFit. We went by and we're like, all right, we're going in there. We messaged them already. We're like, hey, Kyle, Sydney, and I, we'd all like to come down there do Murph. We're like, great, we're going to do it Monday, but if you guys want to come in Saturday and do it, we'd love to have you come. So that's what we're going to go do.
Super cool.
But yeah, it's a big travel weekend, man. So, and I'm kind of bummed because was I not here? Oh no, we had quarantine last year. So, we'll see. It's a big travel weekend for everybody, but I also kind of wanted to see what everybody else is going to be doing and maybe just see, do what everybody else is going to do. We'll end up seeing unpartitioned would probably be a pretty fun challenge again. I really enjoyed that when I did that last year.
For sure.
Cool. What's the best advice you would give to somebody who's doing this for the first time this year for Murph?
Take the first mile slow.
It's probably the best advice you can get. 100%.
Don't go out hot. And like, I don't know, just settle into a long workout. Like, it's really easy to get excited, typically we'll like,
dude, it is. And you get so fired up,
hell yeah, we're about to do this. And then it's like, let me run as fast as I can. And that's probably like the worst thing you can do. So.
Yeah, you have, just remember this. And for most, I'll probably put them between about 50 to 60 minutes, maybe a little bit more. But if you go out in that first mile, and let's say it's a 9-minute mile, you still have 41 minutes of work ahead of you, of which, let's take away the other mile, right? If you go out the same pace and it's going to be 9 minutes again, you're looking at 32 minutes of work that you have to do in the middle. You can easily make up whatever you're going to make up, on a set of push-ups or a set of air squats, than going out there and just blitzing the run and making your lungs exhausted.
Yeah, and there's another mile run on the back end.
Yeah.
And that last mile is the one that sucks. That last mile, when you're already thrashed from all that work, that one is hard.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it is. Definitely, man. Cool. Well, let's see here. What else do we want to talk about and related to Murph? I think I'm good as far as that goes. Yeah. We talked about strategy again for the beginners out there. We'd recommend something like the 50 rounds, 2, 4, 6. or the 20 rounds of 5 pull-ups, 5 push-ups, 15 air squats, 5 push-ups is just a great way to kind of break the push-ups up, which again for most people is going to be the part that's most difficult. And then take the first run slowly, and I would even go at a pace to where like you can talk pretty regularly, and you're going out, and it's kind of an easy run in the beginning. And with the adrenaline and everybody going there anyway, you're typically going to go faster in the beginning of the workout. So just make sure you guys are calm, cool, collected, kind of in the beginning. Talk to us about other hero workouts. I guess first, what are hero workouts? Why do we do them? Start with me there, Monroe.
Okay, so like back in the day when CrossFit.com was a blog and not a website, I guess in the sense that websites are today, they would post a workout of the day, and it was very popular in the military community, right, in the Navy SEALs and all that. Dave Castro was a Navy SEAL, right? That's how it's kind of spread. So California and then Virginia Beach area were kind of the first areas where CrossFit spread because of the military. So there's always been that tie. And CrossFit, with those ties, kind of started to put out workouts that were commemorating fallen soldiers or different events. We'd already had named workouts that were benchmark tests, and those were written for a specific reason to test specific things. And these hero WODs were supposed to be extra challenging and extra tough, and CrossFit at that time was known to be like this tip of the spear tough guy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of the way people thought about it. There's some hero WODs out there that are awful and that are like way extreme in my opinion, and that aren't something that it's like normal people are just going to kind of throw into their daily workout. But then there's some that I think are awesome and that you can throw into class like really easy and use it as just like another test, just like any of the other named workouts. So
yeah, I guess in some affiliates there's a lot of controversy sometimes in regards to hero workouts if you do them too often. How do you feel about volume related to hero workouts? Can you do them too much? Do you not worry about that so much? Talk to us about that.
So I would look at what the workout is. I would not like. It's more about the volume of it and the time domain of it. So I mean, we do CrossFit, right? So if you're doing a hero WOD every day, then you're not doing CrossFit, right? Because you're missing out on the 3-minute workouts.
Yep.
So it's like, I think it should be sprinkled in there, just like chippers or workouts with like 5-6 different movements in it. Like, you don't need to do that every day, but it's, spice to your workout. So I think doing a hero WOD once a month, once every couple months, we're even doing like, what Luke and I were talking about, we'll probably do a series of hero WODs following Murph. So the next month we'll have, on our Full Send Friday, we'll have the shorter hero WODs that are out there.
Yeah,
just so people can touch on different ones, because there's ones that aren't going to wreck you.
Yeah, and I got a old mentor down at, I'm just tagging all the CrossFit affiliates across America here right now. CrossFit Rife down in Virginia Beach, out to Jason, those guys, they do, it's either a month or a series where they do the same thing, and they kind of have like a hero WOD related month, and they do something, I don't know if it's on Saturday, I think it's a Saturday morning class where they do one, and I think that's kind of a cool concept when you do it like that. But I'm also with you on the, if your objective is to get really good at CrossFit or really just to get better at life, that you need to hit all the, time domains that you want to hit, and make sure the stimulus isn't going to be the same over and over again, which if you're just doing hero WODs and really long workouts, then you're hitting one part of it and you're missing out on a lot.
There, so it's not something you want to do every day.
Yeah, I got you. What is the hardest hero WOD that you've ever experienced?
So I guess one that I DNF'd, which did not finish. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it's 5 rounds, run 800, 40 push-ups, 4 rope climbs, I think. Or 40 push-ups, 5 or 50 push-ups,
that sounds
5
awesome.
rope climbs.
I would love that workout.
I think it's 5 rounds, 800 meter, 50 push-ups, 5 rope climbs.
Okay, we'll look that one up. We'll link it. What happened?
I got to the last round and I felt like my biceps were gonna just like explode. And it's just like it was one of those things where I was just always like, during the rope climb, I just felt like my pec and my bicep were just like getting strained. And there's definitely that like, this is something with hero workouts and workouts in general, like you want to push yourself, you want to make yourself uncomfortable. That's the point. You're commemorating someone that, you know, died for our country or whatever. Like, the point is for it to be tough and it's for it to be a suffering, but you shouldn't get hurt.
Right.
And there's that line where it's like you're pushing yourself, it's hard, you know, your shoulders are maxed out, you can't do any more push-ups, you're failing reps, sure. But, like, when it starts feeling like something is, like, tearing,
like way off,
like not normal, then that's when you need to stop. And, like, you know, thankfully I didn't hurt myself. You know, I just took a day off and, you know, took care of myself, did some mobility. But yeah, that workout was probably the hardest for me.
What's I'm trying to think. Well, I'll go ahead and answer the question here, and then we'll go into favorites. Worst hero WOD that I've ever done. I think like Marston probably comes to mind, and it's just because the So if you haven't seen Marston before, was there step ups in Marston? I think it's toes to bar and it's bar facing burpees. So it's one deadlift, super heavy. It's like 405.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
And then it's I think it's 10 toes to bar and then 15 bar facing burpees for 20 or 30 minutes. Maybe it's 5 rounds. It's something like that. And I've had to scale it every single time I've done it because a 405 deadlift for me is like, you know, 95% of my 1 rep max. I just can't pull that underneath a high heart rate. But I've done it at 315, and even at 315, I was just fried. And like every time I would pull the deadlift bar up, like I just thought the whole world was like, you know, caving in, and that I wasn't going to be able to pick the bar up. And the first time I did that was a very, very challenging time. I did it a second time and came back, and it was much better. Yeah. But that one was probably the toughest experience that I've had for a hero workout. Favorite and best experience you've had in a hero workout?
Favorite? So, like, there's some great hero workouts that are just great workouts.
Name a few that you like,
okay,
and we
so
can
like,
get some of the listeners.
The Chief.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah, I've done that before.
It's a great workout. It's like 5 rounds. It's like power cleans at 135, push-ups and air squats, I think.
That sounds right.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's quick. It's an interval. There's like rest in there, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just one of those fun classic workouts. Griff, which is
is Griff the mile run backwards?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's my gosh.
It's run 800 forwards, 400 backwards, 800 forwards, 400 backwards, 800 forwards.
Yeah. That does not sound like it'd be that fun.
It's like intense in a weird way, but like it only takes like 10, 15 minutes. Like
okay.
It's not going to ruin your day, right? But it's just like, man, that was really challenging and something I never do. And then like probably one of the more memorable ones that I enjoy and I'm kind of sick for that is Kalsu.
Yeah. That's a Monroe style workout.
Yeah, so it's one where it's like if you're good at it and you can do it, it's not bad, but you can get caught up in it and it can be horrible.
Yeah.
So Kalsu is 100 thrusters for time at 135. And every minute on the minute you have to do a 5 bar facing burpees. And so it's like just heart rate, and it's one of those things where it's like, dude, if you don't do 20 or 30 thrusters in the first minute, like if that workout takes you longer than 7 minutes, like you're just going to get stuck doing burpees and do like 3 thrusters and just chip away at it so slowly. It could take forever.
Yeah, I did that at 95 pounds first year that I came into CrossFit, and that was smart.
Yeah.
135 would have been a complete disaster. The 95 was good. I did 20 reps, I think, in the first minute, and then after that it was pretty much 5 on the minute from there, and it was manageable. I didn't like end myself or anything like that.
You're good. It looks like it's dead. My other battery's at my house.
Well, so on and so
we
forth.
Can just chop that out, and I'll just put a little black line at the end, and we'll call it.
Yeah,
a day.
that's totally fine there, man. Cool. Hero WOD that you would like to do in the near future if you got to choose, besides Murph, of course.
So one that has always kind of intrigued me, that is on the borderline of dangerous, is Clovis.
I don't know what Clovis is for the kids here. What do you got?
It's partition as needed, 10-mile run, 150 burpee pull-ups. So you do 10 rounds, run 1 mile, 15 burpee pull-ups for 10 rounds. So that's like...
That's a long guy, man.
Yeah, so that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking, that's 2 hours, a little under, 145 maybe, if you're running 9-minute miles.
I mean, other than that, I've never done the step-up one. That's what I thought you were talking about with Marston. It came out recently. It's like,
I don't think I've done the step-up workout before.
That's what it is.
Chad. We'll have to link that one as well. Huh.
Yeah, it's 1,000 step-ups for time with a weighted vest.
Okay.
So that's one that Chad Wilkinson, the that's like for him. Sarah Wilkinson was on the level 1 seminar staff.
Oh yeah.
Also. So yeah.
Cool. Favorite one that I've ever done, probably Glenn. You done Glenn before? I love Glenn, man.
Oh yeah.
It starts off with Grace. It's 30 clean and jerks, and then you go out, run a mile, come back, 10 rope climbs, go back out, run a mile, come back 100 burpees. It's really fun, super long, but you get a little bit of everything. You get some weightlifting, you get to climb a rope, which is always fun. You get to run, and then you get to do burpees, everything like that. So that one's going to be great as far as that goes. We would love to hear from you guys as far as this goes. First, I'd love to know how you guys are going to break this up in the comments. Are you going to go 20 rounds? Are you going to do 10? Are you going to do it unpartitioned? What's your game plan going to be when you go out there? And then secondly, if there is a hero WOD that you haven't heard from us today, I'd love to hear what you guys, what's your favorite that you've ever done? What's the most challenging one? What's maybe one you would suggest to Coach Luke here for programming here for June? And we can kind of go from there, dude. Monroe, what else do you want to talk about, man, with hero WODs, or we can just go into closing thoughts, brother?
I think we kind of touched on it. We touched on it all. You want to do closing thoughts?
Yeah, short and sweet today, man. So let's see here. When I go out, what am I going to be working on? Suggestions from Murph. I'm going to go have fun. I'm going to remember why I'm doing it, which is for the people that have served our nation, the first responders that have served our nation, and doing the great and heroic things that they've done. I'm going to enjoy it with my brother-in-law, with my fiance while we're out in West Virginia. And I'm just going to have a good time with it, man. It's going to be a fun WOD. It's going to be a great time.
For sure.
What you got, man?
So I'm looking forward to the barbecue afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Grilling,
yeah.
Get to show off my grill apron and make some burgers.
Are you gonna wear the tank underneath so you can bring the guns to the show as well? Dude, I was telling Monroe before the show that his arms look so pumped lately. It's the push-ups, man. It's the push-ups.
Dude. It's just push-ups.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So my plan for Murph, I'm gonna enjoy the food after. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna try and do it on partition. I'm not really concerned with my time so much. I really just want the push-ups to feel good because I've done so many push-ups so far that I'm just going to take it slow. It's just like, I just want to get through it. So I'm probably just going to do 5 push-ups and take a break and do 5 push-ups.
Awesome, bro.
And take a break. So just chunk through it.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks so much for stopping by. You guys are listening to the Full Send Podcast. If you guys haven't reviewed the podcast yet, we'd love for you to go down there, smash the 5-star button on Apple Podcasts, share it with your friends. You can find us on Spotify as well. And we'll end up seeing you guys next time.